Oh, hello folks, this is Steve A. for you. You know that nothing in this episode is a promotion nor is it a recommendation. And no matter how ads you see, I'm not promoting them. Now you know that one of my favorite sites is Bleeping Computer because I'm interested in what the hackers are doing. And this episode comes right home. Title is Brother Printer, Brother's a brand, Brother Printer bug in 689 models exposes default administrative passwords. Now these are printers like you'd use at home. I got one right there, that you can either run a USB cable to or you can connect it to your internal network. And yes, I have a Brother printer. So when I saw this article, especially when they said 689 models, I bought my printer a long time ago. Who knows? There are CVEs against it. Unauthorized attacker can leak sensitive information. Port 80, port 443, those are standard ports for your browser. A non-authenticated attacker can generate the device's default administrator password. Apparently these all used a system that was based on, in part, the serial number of the printer, which you can read directly, plus a couple other things, and you could figure out. So when they were making these, each one had a built-in secret password, but each printer was different. But he figured out, this guy that they're talking about, called Rapid7, figured out what the algorithm was. Not too hard. An unauthenticated attacker can crash the device. So that's what the article's about. Insecure password generation. The default password in the impacted printers is generated during manufacturing using a custom algorithm based on the device's serial number. That's what I said a moment ago. So as their final step, loading the software into the ROM that runs the printer so that it can either use a USB port and get the printing instructions that way like PDFs and print it, or over the network. This would permit them, presumably in a business situation, to be able to actually log into a customer's printer to see what was wrong. If they said, you got to fix them because our printers are blah, 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 blah. We're a big customer. We bought 10,000 of these. Take the first 16 characters of the serial number. Apparently, this algorithm was used not only, a total of 689 printer models from Brother, along with 53 other models from Fujifilm, Toshiba, Konica, Minolta, come with a default password that remote attackers can generate. That means they used a common toolkit. Do you understand that? They didn't invent it at those places. They got it online. Oh, this looks great. we'll use this. Take the first 16 characters of the serial number, which you can see, append 8 bytes derived from a static salt table. The salt table might have, let's say, 100 entries. Each one they choose, but with a computer you can take the 16 characters plus each one of those 100, hash it as SHA 256, base encoded 64, and then take the first 8 characters and substitute. With computers, you can generate that in under a minute. With the PC I have, no big deal. Sounds complicated, especially if they were at the very beginning of printers 15 years ago, but not today. So this is the report from this guy, Rapid 7. It's his white paper. This is how he makes money. I'm a big, smart guy. I was curious where he's from in case it was from Israel, but he's Irish. Erie. Stephen Fewer. Never heard of him before. So he wants you to contact him directly. He has a website, obviously. He knows English. Bilingual, native or bilingual proficiency, not Israeli. The Israelis seem to have dropped out of the picture in the last year and a half. I wonder why. So anyway, what's the model of my brother computer that I bought a long time ago? A long time ago. That means more than 10 years ago. Yeah, it still works. The model is HL-2170W. And I did a Google search asking what was the original price, because I remember it being like $130, $129.95. I was living in Raleigh and I bought it locally at one of the stores. You could, like going to here locally to, can't think of the name of the store, Staples. I'm not promoting anything. I bet you can buy a Brothers printer at Staples locally just walking in the door. So an HL-2170 has so what they came back with was a review from, they're still online, CNET. Same overall size and design as the HL-2140. And the price is about $130 at that time. You'll see what I mean. But it adds 32 megabytes of onboard memory. 10 and 15 years ago, adding 32 megabytes was a big deal. Now they add gigabytes, right? And it's cheap. And an 802.11 wireless interface. So you can talk to Wi-Fi in your house. Big deal back then. Now everybody's got it built in, expected. So this is where they got it from. They gave that printer, there's a picture of it, a rating of 7.3 out of 10. And then they've got a thing here that says $168 at Amazon. Now that is actually dynamic, as you're going to see. I'll show you in a minute. Even though this ad is, let's get this article, let's get the date. Some places keep old articles online for reference. This was written by Justin Yu on March and published March 19th, 2008. Didn't I tell you that it's an old printer? I bought it when it was a brand new model, just came on the market. I bought it approximately 17 years ago. Still works. I don't use it that much. Still works. When I need to go to the doctor and I have my write-up of what talking points, I print it off with that. It's about all I use it for now. So you can still read and they compare it to the other contemporary LaserJet models and Dell models. Okay? That's what I have right there. Now the question is, well, actually, is mine one of the ones that's susceptible? Just for the fun of it, I did a search to see if I could buy it today on eBay. And the answer is that if I'm willing to spend $400, I can get it new in the box. I can get it new in an unopened box for more than $3. But with inflation, it's probably the same price. So you know what it is. These were in a warehouse somewhere. A business went out of business, and they got salvaged. So I can buy a new one in the box today. $20 shipping USPS. I can even get it on Amazon. You remember it said available on Amazon for $130? Well, it was referring to this one. I can get a used one for $168, and there's only one left in stock. Used, very good. One left in stock. .250 sheet capacity. Starter toner cartridge. I haven't tried to buy a cartridge lately, but I assume it's one of the universal ones. High quality 2400 by 600 DPI, dots per inch. Monochrome laser printer up to 23 pages per minute, perfect for home or office. 1 year limited manufacturer's warranty. Back then. And here's what it's competing with. A similar brother model for $119, 2405W. It's probably just 5 years newer, so it's, these are all used, right? These are all laser printers, use plain paper, Ethernet, USB, USB, USB. That one's USB also. Okay. So wanting to know whether or not this can be broken into is still relevant. So I went to the Brother site using the link in the Bleeping Computer article. And I don't know, a number of vulnerabilities may affect Brother machines that have been identified, listed in tables below. So they list what they are. To reduce the risks associated with the listed vulnerabilities, follow these steps. Use the link above to check if an updated version of the affected firmware is available for your machine. Use the link above to check if an updated version of the affected firmware is available for your machine. If an update is available, download and install the latest firmware version using the firmware update tool. So it's a universal, and usually they are. So it runs on your computer and it talks to the after installation, change the default administrator password via web-based management. So you actually have to connect back to Brother and let them connect to your machine, presumably, and then they'll let you put in the password you want, which is then a secret between you and Brother. If the updated firmware is not yet available, follow the suggested workarounds in the workarounds section. Rightly check for the update in case it comes available when we get around to it, if it's possible. Install the update as soon as it becomes available. Oh, that's so smart. And make sure your machine is in a firewall protected environment. Why didn't I say that in the first set of solutions? A-holes. They're all a-holes. Oh, here's an online list of all of the Brother models that are affected by this common, stupid, toolkit-based vulnerability that's easy to break into today with today's computing power. What did I say I had? An HL-2170W. There's a lot of pages. I'm going to click at the top. I'm going to say find, and the dialog comes up, and then I say Control V, and it says 0 out of 0. In other words, my donkey early model from like 17 years ago isn't one of the ones that they use that stupid common toolkit to put a built-in password in. So I don't have anything to worry about. Sometimes older is better. It works. That's what I need. Sigh of relief. My Brother printer doesn't have this bug. Steve AB4, yeah. St. Hugh at 73.